Howdy everybody, Chris here. We're back in the garage today. Today we're going to be talking about a flow coat. We're going to be using an electric sprayer, specifically this one right here, which is the Wagner 4300. A couple unique things about this electric sprayer that I do like is it is a gravity feed paint gun. It has its own air source right here, so there's no need for a compressor. So I have done a couple videos on this unit right here, and the results came out pretty nice. I was pretty impressed with it for what it is. It's a system that's designed for your house. It's not designed for automotive painting, but it did a pretty decent job. Sprayed the metallics nice, sprayed the clear coat nice with a little bit of orange peel. Let me show you what we got here. So this is one that we sprayed with that gun. It's not perfect. It has some orange peel, a little bit excessive right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to flow coat this today. I'm going to walk you through that process and show you how we do that. Now, I did do a video last week on how we wet sanded and buffed it so you can get that super flat finish. So you can check out that video if you like. But today we're going to prep out this side. We're going to flow coat it. I'll walk you through those steps. And I'll show you how this Wagner sprayer performs. A little explanation of a flow coat. A flow coat is to help you get a nice smooth finish. It's going to add more clear coat to the surface so you can cut and buff it later on and make it super flat. You can block the clear coat so you get that really flat finish and super reflective finish. And it's also going to give you a little bit of a deeper finish. So when you're done, it really looks wet. And that's what everybody wants. They want something that looks smooth, wet, and glossy. Flow coat is good for those cars that you want to show off and be really proud of. I like to wait at least 3 to 4 weeks before I sand it down to do a flow coat. You want your paint job to really firm up before you add a flow coat. Some people might wait a week, they might wait 3 or 4 days and do a flow coat. You can do all of those things, but I like to wait at least a couple weeks, maybe a month. And I think that gives you the best results. First step in this process is we're going to sand this clear coat down. You can use a variety of different sandpapers, but if you watch a channel, when I prep out a blend panel, it's basically the same thing. I'm sanding it with 600 grit sandpaper. That's going to remove all the imperfections. It's going to cut it quickly, and we can clear over that without showing any of those 600 scratches through our new clear coat. So we're going to use the orbital sander with a piece of 600 grit sandpaper. We'll sand out all the orange peel. We want to remove all that orange peel, any particles of dust or anything of that nature. We want it to be completely flat before we apply our clear coat. Okay, so here's our 600 grit sandpaper. We are using the interface pad. You don't necessarily have to use the interface pad. An interface pad is perfect for if you're going over like these body contours. You don't want to sand right on the edge. You don't want to burn through this clear. We just want to prepare it for more clear. The interface pad is going to help protect those body lines and those body edges so you don't burn through. But you can still burn through, so be careful when you're prepping this out. We're just going to hold it flat against the panel. Let's just wipe this down and I'll show you what it looks like. You can see. So if you look here where we just went over the edge, those are imperfections in that clear coat. Okay, but over here, nice and flat. We're going to go ahead and do the rest of the side of the hood, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so let me show you how it turned out. If you look closely, all looks nice and smooth. All those imperfections have been removed. Now we got a little chip here in this old paint. We're not going to try and take that out because it's too deep. That would have to be filled. We have a little bit of texture here. If you look on here on the bottom of this edge. Now, let me show you. I burned through this edge right here. So it's not hard to burn through. You can burn through pretty easily. Now, if this was something other than just a demo, I would have been hand sanding these edges. So I just take a piece of 600, and you could use a gray scuff pad, and I just lightly scuff the edges for adhesion, okay? Anywhere that's shiny. You can burn through with this too, so you want to be careful. Actually, a gray scuff pad works really well for this. That's like a 1,000 grit scratch. All right, let's wash this down and we'll fire up that Wagner. Okay, let's go ahead and tape this up. I'm just going to tape off that side because we're going to do something else with that side later. And we're going to use a little bit different clear here. We're going to use the Sherwin-Williams FC740 clear coat. It has a little bit higher gloss. FC740, this is the clear coat we're using today. So this clear coat mixes up 4:1, so we'll find the 4:1 mixing ratio right there. I think we'll just do 2 parts. We'll add our 2 parts of clear coat, and then we go over to the 1 column, add our activator. Okay, so this 4300, I picked this up at Lowe's or Home Depot, one of the two, but it was $200 for the entire system. It's kind of nice because you don't need a compressor. It doesn't give you as nice a finish as you would a conventional spray gun and a compressor. If you're just looking to paint at home, this might work out perfect for you. There are cheaper options. What I like about this is it's a pressurized gravity feed gun, all electric. The other ones you use are siphon feed from the bottom. It makes it more difficult. This is much better. So this is the adjustment here. So, oops, got a little thinner in there. So if you adjust this in, you're going to get more material on the panel. If you adjust it all the way out, you're going to get less. My theory is I'm going to put a thin coat on. I might adjust this after the first coat, see if I need a heavier amount of clear to let it flow out. It does have an adjustment here for the power. We just put it on max, and that seems to work the best. 15 feet of hose. We'll hook this up here, and this is actually a stand right here, so you can set this down. Okay, we're just going to add our clear coat here. I hope this doesn't make a mess. It was leaking earlier, but I didn't have this cap on tight enough, so it doesn't seem to be leaking now. I've used this probably 2 or 3 times, and honestly I don't know how many times it's going to continue to work because we're using solvent and it's really not designed for solvent. Nice thin mist. All right. Oh shit. Man, that was coming out smooth too.
I know.
At least it wiped right off. All right, little mishap there. We're gonna regroup. All right, let's try it again. Hopefully this won't come out.
Yeah, try pushing it anyway.
Okay. It's coming out nice and smooth.
Leaking somehow.
It's leaking?
Yeah, out of that.
Oh, where was it?
Somewhere out of here, up there.
Okay, it's leaking out of the cap, guys. There's no seals up here, so I'm not sure why it's leaking. Maybe I have to put it on tighter. All right, I tightened it up. It's pressurized, so all right, it's not leaking now. That's the first coat. Let's let it sit. The second coat should look a lot better, hopefully. Okay, so that was a disaster. You saw this popped off. I didn't have this on tight enough and it spewed out clear coat. So we wiped that off and then we had the gun leaking up top. It's not leaking now. I didn't have that quite tight enough. You really gotta cinch that down because this is pressurized. So here's the finish. If you look in the light, you can see in the light, it's a pretty decent finish. There's some particles of dust in here, but it's not really that bad. Actually, we got a lot of light dust in there, but we got some drips, but that's okay. We're gonna put a second coat on. It's ready for our second coat. Darius is gonna take the camera. We'll see if we can slick this out a little better and get a good flow coat on this. I'm gonna go a little heavier. So I put it on real heavy right there, and we got what we call some. So we'll let this set up and then we'll come back and take a look at it. You're gonna have to picture it without dust. It's got some dust in it, but look at the finish. This is every bit as good as a conventional spray gun. And if you look in the light here, there's no problem with this finish at all. Other than those drips, you know, we had some drips, but as far as the peel, look at that. This is better than a factory finish right here. It's not super difficult to use this gun. I don't know how it's gonna hold up. So this is the 4th time I've used it and it's held up pretty well so far. Yeah, the finish is nice. If I just peel this back, we can compare it to a conventional gun. It's got a little heavier orange peel right there, and that's where I got it on real heavy, and it created that those white stripes. That's called blushing, and it's from putting on material too heavy and getting moisture in that material, but it's dried out and it's disappeared, so there's no more blushing in it. If we look at the light here, as we go over here, this has actually got more texture. Now this is fresh, so it could shrink back a little bit and create a little bit more peel, to be fair with you. But right now, this finish actually looks better than this finish. Of course, this has been about a month, so it has pinched back a little bit on this one. But we'll use this gun again on this side, paint and clear coat, and see how it turns out. So stay tuned for that video. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. I hope this was helpful to you. How to do a flow coat and how to use that Wagner 4300 to do that. We had a couple little mishaps, but that's how it goes. This is a real deal, real life. Stuff happens like this. You got to know how to overcome it. Now we could wet sand and buff this and make it perfect. So listen, if you want more information about paint and body repair, check out this video now. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. And if you want my digital guides, you can pick those up at garagenoisegear.com. Those are digital guides on how to use body filler, how to pick the right primer for your project, and I have a bunch of other digital guides on there. Check it out, garagenoisegear.com. We'll see you on the next episode of Garage Noise. To learn more about auto body and paint repair, check out this video now.